all the rookies will be there. Trevor Lawrence will be at the Jaguars rookie minicamp. He's been overshadowed all week by another guy whose name begins with a T. He is expected to do some limited work. Remember, he had the shoulder surgery earlier in the offseason on the non-throwing shoulder. He's expected to do limited work, whatever that means. When he had the shoulder surgery, the expectation was it was a 5 to 6 month recovery. He'd be ready for training camp. Training camp's still a couple of months away. So I don't know what limited work means, but he'll be there and he'll start to learn the offense. And this reboot of the Jaguars officially commences with Lawrence showing up and Urban Meyer coaching up these Jaguars players. And there's the dog that looks just like my dog Macy.
Yeah, look at that hair, man. That flow is something else from Trevor Lawrence. My goodness. Well, I mean, gosh, he just looks like a QB1, and that's all he really needs to do this week is just go over there, stand around, maybe do a press conference, look like a QB1, start to learn the offense, and that's all it really. Freshman, man, I just messed this up. It's rookie minicamp, but I like to call it more like freshman orientation. That's really all this is. You come in, you get to know the building, you get to know the people who work around the building, you figure out where your locker is, where the cafeteria is, where your meeting room is, and you kind of go out on the field and you have on you have on shorts, you have on maybe a jersey, your helmet maybe, and you just start to get the basics of what it feels like to be in the NFL. And so Trevor Lawrence probably not going to need to do all that much this week. That's what training camp is for. That's more what OTAs are for. And we don't necessarily know how much he's going to do with all of that either. But look, I just think that right now, when you're somebody like Trevor Lawrence, all you got to do is just go in there and establish that you have a presence. Because once you have that presence of QB1, that's fine.
For the vast majority of teams that do their training camp at their regular practice facility, you're absolutely right. You're getting a preview of what it's going to be like. You get an opportunity to get your feet wet. And you get a chance. And I know there's plenty of debates about practice speed and practice intensity, and they've got different levels, and they have a Pro Bowl tempo, whatever that means. But I remember when the late Joe McKnight showed up for Jets minicamp and ended up puking all over his shoes. He's getting his first taste of what it's like. Football practice in the NFL. That's part of it, too. They're going to work you a little bit. Now, they have backed off some. Remember the Jaguars several years ago in his first rookie minicamp? What happened to Dante Fowler Jr.? Pop goes the ACL. So teams have learned, I think, let's not throw these guys directly into fray. They're competitive. They don't care whether it's walkthrough. You want to prove yourself. You got guys going live or close to it, and I think that's going to be another frontier for this fight as we push back, and we see pushback from players against what the teams do. But it's their first taste of real NFL football, and at some point, and I think this is calculated, you want them to have that moment where they realize, oh, wow, this is going to be different when training camp rolls around.
Yeah, exactly. You want them to have that then as opposed to what happened last year with guys through no fault of their own. It was the pandemic. All right, they come in late July, early August, and it's like, oh, man, like I haven't necessarily exactly felt like I was an NFL player. I mean, I've been sitting at my computer, at my tablet, and we've been going through these meetings, and I've been talking with my new teammates. But now that I'm here, it is just a much different feeling because I see my locker, I see the helmet, I see all these different things, and it really signals to me that I am in the NFL. You want to get that out of the way as early as possible so that guys can then just lock in and say, yes, I know what I'm here to do. And, it's funny because there are guys who went out there and had such good rookie years, and I kind of don't know how they did it, man. Like, when you think about everything that those guys had to go through last year that was so different than what they are typically, Justin Herbert, I mean, the way that he was able to get in there in week 2 and just really be somebody that we think is now going to be an elite quarterback, I find that highly, highly impressive. And Joe Burrow, too, before he got injured, he looked really good. But this is going to be something different for these guys where they can come in there, they can get a little bit of a sense of normalcy, and they can start to establish themselves as they compete for these spots on this roster.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.